Hello viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Hasham Ali Khan. So last video I have explained you about the accounting for GST transactions, exports and imports. Now in this video I am going to explain you four topics. The first topic is composite dealer. Second topic is unregistered dealer. The third topic SEZ sales. And last one, mixed and composite supply under GST. So presently I am discussing about unit number 3. The topics of unit number 3 are recording advanced entries, then GST adjustments and return filing. This is the main topic of this unit number 3. Now, before starting the explanation of this composite dealer and unregistered dealer, take the screenshot of the points which I have written, then I'll explain all the points in detail. And in examination, very frequently short questions may be asked regarding what do you mean by composite dealer? What do you mean by unregistered dealer? What do you mean by SEZ sales or mixed supply or composite supply under GST? So watch the video till the end, don't skip in between to get the complete command on the concepts of GST. Now see carefully. First of all, I am explaining about the composite dealer. So who is a composite dealer? GST law has specifically given the meaning of the term composite dealer. So a dealer having an aggregate turnover of less than rupees 1.5 crore. So any dealer whose aggregate turnover is less than 1.5 crore during the previous year is considered as composition dealer under composite scheme. So one scheme is the composite scheme. Under that composite scheme, the person is called composition dealer if the annual turnover is less than 1.5 crore during the previous year. That's it. That you have to remember. However, in some cases, a taxable person is ineligible to become composite dealer despite of having annual turnover of 1.5 crore. Sometimes a taxable person will not be eligible to be called as composite dealer even if the annual turnover is up to less than 1.5 crore. Which are the circumstances in which he will not be treated as composite dealer? The two cases are given. In these two cases, despite the turnover is below 1.5 crore, they are not called as composite dealer. Which are the two cases? The first case is if the taxable person is a supplier of services. Remember the point. If the taxable person is a supplier of services, not goods, services, exclude, however, food and beverages for consumption are exceptional cases. Leaving these two, which are supplier of food and beverages, leaving these two, all other taxable persons who supply services, for them they cannot become a composite dealer even if the turnover is below 1.5 crore. Secondly, if the taxable person supplies goods and services on e-commerce operator, e-commerce operator is there, then also this composite dealer will not apply even if the turnover is below 1.5 crore. So these two are the exceptional cases, right? Where the person will not be treated as a composite dealer even if the turnover is below 1.5 crore. Next term I am going to explain you is about unregistered dealer. So two types of dealers are there, registered and unregistered. So already in the previous videos I have explained the differences between registered and unregistered. Now a dealer having an aggregate turnover of less than the recommended amount for the purpose of registration under the GST are referred to as unregistered dealer. So unregistered dealer means the taxable person whose aggregate turnover is below the recommended amount for registration under GST. So GST law has given a recommended amount, threshold amount. If the person's turnover exceeds the threshold mark, then the person must get themselves registered. So if a person's turnover is below the threshold level, then the person will be called unregistered dealer. So dealer having an aggregate turnover less than, below the recommended amount fixed by the GST law for registration under GST, they are called unregistered dealer. In tax invoices cannot be issued by unregistered dealer. One of the main problem of this unregistered dealer is they cannot issue the tax invoices when they supply the goods or services. Then unregistered dealer cannot charge tax or cannot claim input tax credit. The unregistered dealers cannot charge the tax from the buyers. They cannot raise the tax invoices, and they cannot get the benefit of input tax credit, ITC benefit, because they are not collecting the tax. So ITC they will not get. Then the government has initiated the reverse charge scheme. One new scheme has been implemented by GST, reverse charge scheme, for ensuring that tax is collected when the goods or services are sold from different unorganized sector. In unorganized sector where most of the persons are unregistered, whenever there is supply of goods and services in unorganized sector, this reverse charge mechanism will apply. What is this reverse charge mechanism? Under reverse charge, the buyer of goods or services are required to pay the tax to the government. The responsibility of paying the tax is shifted to buyer from the seller. Normal circumstances, the GST is charged by the supplier. But in case of reverse charge scheme, the tax will be collected from the buyer, not from the seller. The responsibility of paying the tax is not of the supplier. It is the responsibility of the buyer. If the goods are supplied, if the goods or services are supplied in the unorganized sector. So this reverse charge mechanism is applied particularly in unorganized sector where most of the persons are unregistered. In that case, reverse charge scheme mechanism will be applied. So two concepts I have explained you. The first concept is composite dealer and second one is unregistered dealer. The third concept I am going to explain is about the SEZ sales. So what is SEZ? Stands for Special Economic Zone. SEZ. The full form is Special Economic Zone. SEZ sales can be defined as a sale of goods to or services to SEZ. A person is selling the goods to SEZ, Special Economic Zone. The recipient is SEZ. Any person is supplying the goods to SEZ. So here the recipient is the SEZ. This sale is called SEZ sale. So specific law is given when the sale is made to SEZ. So any outward supply made to a recipient belonging to SEZ is called SEZ sale. The recipient or the buyer of the goods or services is SEZ. Then the sale will be called SEZ sale. That in Tally ERP 9, sales voucher is used for SEZ sales. When the goods are sold to SEZ, sales voucher will be used in Tally ERP 9. Integrated tax is applicable for such sales. So three types of GST is there: CGST, SGST, IGST. So in this SEZ sales, we apply IGST, integrated GST. Now, types of SEZ sales. From taxability point of view, we have divided the SEZ into three categories. Based on the applicability of tax, SEZ sales are divided into the following three types. The first is taxable SEZ sales. Those SEZ sales on which GST is applied at integrated rates, integrated tax rates. So it refers to those SEZ sales in which integrated tax is applicable for both interstate and intrastate sales. Whether the SEZ sales is interstate or intrastate, for both cases integrated tax is applicable. This is called SEZ taxable, taxable SEZ sales. Second, sale under LUT or bond, letter of undertaking. LUT stands for letter of undertaking. Sometimes the sale is made to SEZ in which it is backed by letter of undertaking or bond. So SEZ sales under letter of undertaking bond are allowed only when the sale is accompanied by letter of undertaking. The sale must be accompanied, must be evidenced by letter of undertaking and from the department for the sale of goods with no payment of duty. So in this case, no tax is applied, provided the sale should be accompanied by the letter of undertaking given by the department. GST department will issue the LUT, letter of undertaking. Now tax is not applicable on such sales. On this, if a sale is accompanied by LUT, then tax is not applicable. Third and final is exempted SEZ sales. Specifically GST says these sales to SEZ will be completely exempted from tax. In that case, no tax is applied. It refers to those SEZ sales which are exempted from tax or duty. No tax is applicable to exempt SEZ sales. So if the sales is completely exempted, no tax is applied. So from taxability point of view, the SEZ sales can be divided into three categories. Taxable SEZ sales or sales under LUT or bond, and last one, exempted SEZ sales. Three concepts I have explained, that is composite dealer, unregistered dealer and SEZ sales. The last topic I am going to explain you in this video is mixed supply and composite supply under GST. So very frequently in examination this question may be asked regarding explain the mixed supply and composite supply. So the concept of mixed supply and composite supply has been newly introduced under GST law. Earlier it was not there. Separate taxes are applied for individual goods and services. But sometimes the supplier will supply the goods in combination, not separately, but two or more goods or two or more services or one good and one service is combined together and supplied. In that case, the question will arise, what should be the tax rate to be applied when goods and services are combined together? So law has changed the rules. The GST has made some amendments. So what are the concept of mixed and composite supply has been newly introduced under GST to overcome the problem from identifying tax rates of combined supply of goods and services. This practical problem has arisen. Many cases the supplier is supplying the combination of goods, a combination of services or combination of goods and services. Problem will arise. What is the tax rate to be applied? So to overcome this, the GST law has changed the rules. What are the rules? These two concepts help to identify whether the supply is made together and they are related or not. First of all, we have to see whether the goods and services are related or not related. Sometimes the supplier will supply a combination of goods and services which are related. That means there is some relationship. We cannot be able to segregate it. Naturally, they are combined together. And secondly, not related. That means the supplier can sell it individually or the supplier can sell it in combination. So law has said that we have to identify whether it is a mixed supply or a composite supply. So it means supplies of the of two or more goods and services can either be mixed supply or a composite supply. So how to find out whether it is a mixed supply or composite supply? If the supplier can be able to sell the goods individually or combination, there is no necessity to combine it. They are combining for their own purpose, but even individually also they can sell. In that case, we apply mixed supply rule. So mixed supply rule can be applied where it is not compulsory to combine. Even individually also they can sell. And composite supply we can apply where naturally the goods has to be combined together. So why we need this mixed supply and composite supply? To find out the tax rate to be applied. Tax rate applicable on mixed supply or composite supply. So as the GST law defines specific rates for goods and services separately, it is easy to identify the tax rate for particular goods or services while supplying. So GST law has given separate rate for tax for goods and services. When a person supplies the goods, specific rates are given for every good and every service. However, there are some cases in some cases, supply of goods and services may be connected or may be supplied together even though they are not connected. In some cases, the supply of goods may be connected. In some cases, supply of goods may not be connected. So we have to find out if it is not at all connected but still combination is selling, mixed supply will apply. If the goods are completely connected, where it is not possible to separately sell, but we have to combine it, there we apply composite supply rules. They are not connected. For example, air conditioner AC is supplied with its installation services. Practical example I am giving here. Air conditioner is supplied along with installation. So installation is compulsory. Whoever purchases the AC, installation is compulsory. The supplier is giving the service of installation and also the goods of supplying the AC. In that case, we have to find out whether it is a mixed supply or a composite supply. Now, in such cases, the concept of mixed and composite supply will play an important role in identifying the tax rate of kind of supply. So, in this type of cases where the AC is sold along with installation, so two services are there, one good, one service. AC supply is a supply of good. Installation is a supply of services. Now the question will arise whether it is a mixed supply or composite supply in order to determine the tax rate applicable on the supply of goods and services. So this is the explanation about mixed supply and composite supply under GST. So in this video, I have explained you 4 important topics which are frequently asked in examination. That is composite supply, composite dealer, unregistered dealer, SEZ sales, and lastly mixed supply and composite supply under GST. Inshallah, we'll continue the next topic in the next video.